All right. Welcome to the 11th episode of Suds to Success podcast. I'm Andrew, and that's our special guest, Paulo, and I'll kind of let him introduce himself in a second. Urjan got fired, so we're just going to replace him with Paulo, and then we're good. No, he got sick. So he wasn't able to fill in. Paulo is a great fill-in because he's an episode I want to do, and we're going to do another episode with his business partner, Gary, about Owner's Pride, St. Albert, and kind of all what they got going on there. But Paul is a great option because he does 1,000 different things, and he's on vacation right now, but still brings his work clothes because that's apparently how dedicated he is to everything. But he was able to come on, so we wanted to do a quick episode and kind of all about Paulo, which you've heard about him on the podcast. We kind of say his name a lot, like Dean and Ivan and all those people. So Paulo is one of the staples we always like to go over. But first, so episode 11. A few things. We're on all social medias: Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. We also have a website, suds2successpodcast.com. That's where we have all of our information. We also have softwares if you want to use that, and you get discounts, a whole bunch of stuff. All right, let's start with Paulo.
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Paulo. I have many shirts, but the main shirt is I'm a father to two beautiful kids and a husband to a beautiful wife. That's my main shirt. And then I wear a few other shirts, mostly OP, Owner's Pride. Everybody knows that for now. Leather repair company. I became from a user, fell in love with the products, and now we distribute in US and Canada. And now Apex, PPF, and Tint. So a few shirts that I have to switch.
Well, and then you have your detail shop too. So you're doing OP for corporate, and then aren't you a ski instructor too?
I used to be. The last 2 years I could. There was too much. I signed up for a season and show up for 3 lessons, and then it was too much. But the passion is there. So building this into a lifestyle business one day and actually have time to ski, that will be awesome.
Well, that's why I was wondering, because I'm like, how does this guy do all these things? He's like, you're doing Owner's Pride Corporate, you're going to Florida, you're doing stuff in Florida, and you're in Florida now on vacation. Then you're in St. Albert, you're doing your own shop, which is like kind of where you started. And then you're doing leather repair company. Then you're doing film you're distributing. Then you're dealing with me yelling at you about shipping. Then you're dealing with a whole bunch of different things. So kind of, how did you get started into detailing? Because like everyone knows your name. Like, so like, for example, me, like before I was with OP, I knew your name. I didn't know kind of what you did. I'm like, this guy just distributes everything in Canada that's like worth using. But like, how did you end up there?
Well, it's kind of a long story. So it started in 2004. I was working at a Jeep dealership. And back then in Portugal, a lot of my high-end clients came in. And the Jeep Grand Cherokee that came out in about 2000 was like the dog car to take the dogs to the beach and just go grocery shopping. And then everybody had like the Ferraris, the Aston Martins, the Bentleys. So I was managing the Jeep shop, and these guys will come in and ask for details. And okay, so in England, most of these people are from England and Germany. They have a lot of mobile detailing, especially at this level. So they couldn't find mobile detailing in the Algarve in Portugal. So they'll come to the dealership, and they got so big that eventually we got Ruslan, a friend of ours, from the BMW dealership into the Chrysler dealership just to provide the detailing services. Mm-hmm. So the detailing service started growing at the dealership, and now it's not just the Jeep Grand Cherokees and the minivans. It's like all sorts of really high-end vehicles, British soccer players, everybody will come. And I became friends with some of these clients, and they start asking for mobile detailing. And I said, oh, man, there's no one doing this at your level. There's a few small guys. And my wife was working in real estate, and they have a Scottish couple that was living in Algarve, and they wanted to go back to Scotland. So my wife actually pitched the idea, why don't you buy the van and start mobile detailing? And initially I was, that's kind of stupid. Why would leave the dealership and go with a van, wash cars around? Like that's right. Kind of stupid.
That's how
And
we
she,
all
okay,
feel when we start.
yeah. So she go, okay, she go with Richard one day and figure this out. Okay. So I go with Richard one Saturday. It kind of starts training me. And half into the day, so man, I'm having trouble in Scotland with my daughter. I gotta go back to Scotland ASAP. Please take over the business. Well, this is pretty cool actually. The lifestyle, being outside and meeting all these high-end people and whatnot. So I went to the wife, talked about it. We grabbed all the money we had. We bought the van. So next week, I'm solo with no detailing background, detailing just with one day of training. And sure, I'm a car guy, always involved in detailing and cars and stuff and running the dealership. But it was completely different. It's one man show with a van going to people's houses detailing cars. First house I go, dog hair everywhere in the CRV. I'll never forget. I finished the car hours after. I'm late for the next appointment, of course. And I'm driving away. And I think I forgot something. And then it clicked. I forgot the trunk. So I drive back, knock at the lady's door again. Hey, sorry. I think I forgot the trunk. And she said, yeah, I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, you forgot the trunk. So another light bulb moment, I need training, proper training. And that's why I got involved with the training, the importance of training and all that.
That's interesting.
So I do my research. There's absolutely no one doing detailing training 20 years ago in Europe, except Autogleam in the UK. So I schedule a training, fly to the UK, and sign up with Autogleam to be a distributor for them and get all the training I need. Yeah, that's kind of how I got in.
That's interesting.
Then
So then, and then, how long have you been in Canada for? It's like I don't know that part of you, but like, so like, what made you first, I guess, pick Canada? Like, kind of, how did you end up where you're at, and how did you pick St. Albert of all places?
Edmonton initially. So 2018 happened and big economic crisis. So all my clients back there disappeared basically. One summer, no one came back, and we just, we're in trouble now. All the dealerships go down. So meanwhile, we grew the team in about 4 years from just being myself to adding more staff, adding more vans, and eventually we grew up the company to have 5 mobile units and
Oh my!
running multiple dealerships. So 2008, all these dealerships go bankrupt. 2018, sorry, no, 2008, yes,
Yeah,
2008, all these dealerships go broke, stop paying us. We got this heavy structure and a lot of money out in the dealerships. Plus, private clients disappeared completely. And I go home, and my wife started, maybe we should start looking for something. And she's Canadian from Edmonton.
interesting.
So she came over to Canada for a month, stay with her family, and kind of we did the budget. When she comes back with the budget, and I look at the numbers, okay, let's sell everything. So we sold everything and moved to Canada 13 years ago.
And then when you moved, was your plan to do kind of the same thing? Like, what were you always thinking that you're going to have a detailing business in Canada, or was like I have no idea? It might be at a dealership. I might do something different. Like, was it always the plan?
No, I wanted something with cars. It didn't happen. When we moved to a basement, and it's Edmonton, so 6 months out of the year, we're in deep freeze. So I said, screw this. I'm not going to do anything detailing related at all. I had no intention of going back. I actually got into a union job with the oil and gas
Mm-hmm.
that I still do. That's something
Of
that
course you
most
do.
people don't do. I'm still working some projects in the oil field. And I have a cousin. He's into drag racing and muscle cars. So he knew about me because he visited in the Algarve and he knew the operation. So my cousin started teasing me, hey man, I'm going to take cars to a car show. Are you interested in prep the cars? And I don't have the tools. Okay, go buy the tools, use my shop, and you can start. So I prepped one car. He got best of show in the 70s, and then best of show on another show. And he's got some buddies that, okay, can we do this? People in oil and gas industry start hearing about me and my skill set. So eventually I was doing oil and gas during the day, get home about 5, and schedule ceramic coating per day,
Yeah.
in and out the next day. It was so I built. We moved. We got a house with a double garage, and for a couple of years I ran my business doing OP training and whatnot from my studio that I posted a couple of days ago, if you
So
remember.
so you were doing OP even out of your house.
Mm-hmm.
So you okay. And then how did you meet Gary, which is like your business partner now for those who don't know?
So Gary actually he started doing PPF for me. So I was
Okay.
looking for a PPF guy because back in the day I lost a couple of clients. You know, you probably got this because you don't do much
We do
PPF.
too.
So hey, I'm gonna go to whatever and do PPF, and then I'll come back for the
And then
coding,
never come back.
and they never come back. And I said, this is not working. Like I need to start doing PPF. I didn't have the time because I was working full time oil and gas, and then just doing this on the side. So actually, one client connect me and Gary. So I went to visit Gary, and Gary was an IGL installer, like I was before, Opticoat and OP. I was with IGL, and we clicked. Gary is super nice guy, super professional, really, really focused on his work. He clicked with me because he thought I was just another rep visiting him. His
Yeah.
wife, actually, Diane, was there to make sure this rep that was coming to visit wasn't another scam. So
Yeah.
we talked for hours. We talked about products, dogs, lifestyle, whatever,
Yeah.
and we became friends. Gary started doing PPF at my studio, and he started testing the OP products. He loved the products as soon as he touched them, and he started buying products from me. And one day I was talking to Blake and Will, and I said, man, the distribution center we have in Calgary really sucks. Can I take over the distribution side? And they said, sure. Why would you want to do this? Well, I was thinking of opening a shop and buy a bigger shop and get the distribution center in that shop. And they said, we'll support you, whatever you want to do. Let's do this. So that's during COVID. Took them almost a year to find a shop. We found the shop. We start tearing things apart. It was a bottle depot. It was disgusting. My my daughter was painting walls, and we spent 3 months refurbishing ourselves, everything, and but always keeping in mind the training part. So we went for a 4,000 square feet shop because we knew we are going to need the space for training, because there was our vision, not just the shop, but all
Yeah.
the training, the idea that we're trying to create back then. And everybody told us was impossible until we got it done. And now look at the team we got with the new board is an amazing team that we got.
Hmm.
But 4 years ago or 5 years ago was everybody told we can't do it.
And that's kind of, I think, always the way it goes. People say you can't until you do, and then they look and like, oh, I remember when we talked about that, like an overnight
Mm-hmm.
success, and it's like, no, it's not overnight. It's a
No.
lot of work. So
Yes.
something I've gathered from your stories, you like distributing products. You've done it every single part. What made you get into distributing products?
I don't know. I think it makes sense to distribute the products if you're using them. You
Right.
passionately believe the product. Why not making money selling them too, right? It's it fits so well in the portfolio. So from our shop, it's not just a shop, it's a training center, it's a distribution center, kind of focus on the profitability of the shop. Otherwise, if you don't have all these key ingredients together, a little bit like yourself, you surrounded yourself with the network you got,
Yeah.
and that helps you not just yourself grow, but everybody around you
Everybody.
grow,
Right.
right?
So were you doing training? Was when you were out of your house, we'll backtrack a little bit. Were you doing training then too? Or it was not really like you kind of off and on? And then when you got the new shop, you wanted to full on kind of dive into doing training.
I was doing training at the shop. So back then we had the warehouse for OP in Calgary. So I was
Hmm.
doing some of the training in Calgary, and that's how I met some amazing people that are still in the network, like Hussein and Carter and all those guys. Actually, we met on the first OP training in Calgary, and now word of mouth. I was not all organic. I was doing training at my shop, my studio, in my garage. Like people would come from Grand Prairie and other places to not just become certified with OP, but also have detailing training and whatnot.
Yeah, because it's honestly it's something even still I feels lacking. Is even in Ontario, there's not like your guys are one of the only shops I can think of. I mean, there might be a few, but that really go into training, and it's like really like not to the level you guys do it though. Like it's like every month you have something going on, or
Mm-hmm.
you're doing everything, and it's like, oh my god, like these guys never sleep. Like my employees will look, and because Nick's in the OP group, he'll look, and you're like, they're doing another training, or like I'll look, I'm like, they're doing like 4 trainings in a week. I'm like, what are they doing? But
So
it's fantastic.
we start slowly. Initially, it was just polishing training, and then people start asking for interior detailing. So we added another one. Meanwhile, with leather repair coming, that's another 2 days of core training. We do tint with the Tint Academy. That's we outsource. They have amazing curriculum. Real, it's not we can do it ourselves, but it's not even worth because their system is so good.
Yeah, me and
And
Erjan want to go see them.
yeah, you got to talk to Adam. We're gonna start doing some with the Apex as well. We just had a meeting today. That's one of the reasons of the shirts.
Yeah,
There was a few meetings going on with the Apex side today. So you definitely have to. It's really, really good training. You don't need a plotter because they will teach you to bulk most of the stuff, and they have an incredible network. Same with the PPF side. We teach ourselves. We're certified by 2 or 3 brands to teach the course. But I think it's the passion. People see the passion. We're not just doing this for the money, charging a
no,
ton of money. It's I'm teaching the course and I'm telling, okay, this is what the OP products do. Don't feel obligated to buy the products. Buy from us if you want, because they're so efficient and everything stacks together. But if you think you're better off with some cheap products, I'll still teach you how to do it. The same with the polishing. I teach
right,
you how to polish with the OP system, but I think it's so easy to do it that I still teach a traditional conventional system with Rupes and all the 3 steps and whatnot. And then I introduce the OP system. But they can go and buy whatever brand of product they want.
well, and really, it doesn't. There's so many systems out there that no matter what they're using, as long as you know how to polish, you can use it. Like I taught a
Mm-hmm.
guy how to use wine, learn how to polish his motorcycle. Friend's dad, and so he gets the polisher, and he's like, "What should I buy?" I'm like, "What do you got?" He's like, "I got Meguiar's." I'm like, "All right, bring your Meguiar's." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Whatever." And then you just learn. You kind of just play with them. Like, okay, use this pad, you do this, and then it's just he goes, "Oh, I can just use stuff I have." I go, "Well, yeah, like you don't have to buy anything. Like you have a
Mm-hmm.
polish and a compound. That's what you need."
Mm-hmm.
Um, so kind of to go back to the Owner's Pride products. Obviously, we're Owner's Pride installers. Me and Urjan talk about that all the time. Not to push a brand on here, but we are. And when you're talking about, you kind of teach people with whatever products that they want, and but you'll show them the Owner's Pride stuff. So I remember when you said, and we're talking about doing trainings. Like I don't have any Owner's Pride stuff. So you sent me a box of all the products, and it's like, okay, great. So now what that box does is we take it out, and I let my employees play with it, and whatever. So they go through it, and then it starts to. I literally my shelves start to be more OP, more OP, more. Cause I let them pick like whatever they want to use. As long as it makes sense, we'll order it. So then the glass cleaners comes out. And Taylor grabs it, and she goes, "What's this?" I go, "It's this glass cleaner." I go, Don't. Who cares? Like we have 3 glass cleaners." She goes, "I like this one. It's purple." I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." I'm like, "Okay." So then she starts using on the windows. She goes over to Nick, and they both have a very funny like workplace in terms of like how they talk to each other. She goes, "Hey Nick, you gotta try this glass cleaner out." And I'm like, "Listen, like I can hear them. Like I'm on a phone call. I can hear them being sketchy in the corner, right?"
Yeah.
And she looks and she goes, like, "Look, this is like a smoker car I'm detailing. Like, look it." Puts on, she takes this film right off. And then she goes, "So when are we buying this stuff?" I'm like, "What are you talking about? It's like glass clear." No. Like, try it. I'm like, "I don't want to try it." Okay, so like when are we buying this stuff? I'm like, oh, and then I text you, I'm like, "We gotta buy the stupid glass cleaner." "Of course you do, it's great." I'm like, oh my god. That box has literally been the worst thing. We use it for training, obviously. But literally they'll slower day, they'll go, "What's this?" Try it, try in a car. "Why don't we buy this stuff?" I'm like, "Yeah, why don't we buy this stuff?" You know what, guys? Fine. You know what? You're right. This stuff works. And there's some stuff for us that doesn't fit, and that's kind of we're kind of corrupted with Ivan, and we kind of really like the DIY brand. So, and he also taught us, so it's kind of we're biased. So it's hard because they're both incredibly good products, but there's some that fit with us better than theirs, and then theirs fit. And so it's hard to kind of pick the best thing. But the main thing, kind of what you brought back to, was as long as the system you're using works and you get good results with it, and it's quick and it makes sense financially, you're good. The main, because so many people go down the rabbit hole of, as Ivan says, you have that one shelf, like Pan the Organizer has that cabinet just full of stuff. And how many detail shops, I've been through a bunch, you walk through and you're like, how much detailing supplies?
Yeah.
Well, sometimes some cars, I have this special glass cleaner, and then some cars I have this one, and then I have 200 polishes that I might need in case a GM black car comes in and it won't polish out right. And you look and you're like, how do you, like, you look at other shops with the employees and they're like, "My employees don't listen to me." No kidding. Like, how are they supposed to know what they're doing? So then, yeah, it kind of brings back to it. So what I want to do now is kind of go through all the brands that you rep, because for Canada, this is a big deal in terms of like Canada, in my opinion, Canada, the detail industry sucks. In terms of like the brands that are here, we've kind of, and even in the last 5 years since I've started, it's grown crazy in terms of the quality of the stuff, but also the support you have. So like, let's say even like the IDA board's an example. So if you're not in the IDA, it's a big deal. I mean, it makes a big difference. And also I find what I use it for is you meet a lot of people in there. So for example, I met you because of the IDA, and I met Ivan because of the IDA, and you meet a whole bunch of people. And that was the biggest thing for me. At least I can meet people that are wanting to be better. Because my opinion, if you're spending money for certification, you've done training, you want to be better. So then you have at least the mentality that I want to be better somehow. And it's also like, I'm not all about, you need to be certified. I'm not, but I think it helps. And it kind of shows the type of person you are by the certification. So let's start with Apex, or that's how you pronounce it? The
Apex.
Apex. Okay.
Apex. They threw an E and A just to confuse.
Okay. Let's talk about that, because that's the new rage right now in terms of, I just saw it come out a week ago and we talked about it kind of quietly, and you just told me you had a brand coming. I didn't know what it was because you're all secretive over there, but what is it? Talk about kind of what it is and who's behind it and kind of why you went for it. I mean, if you're touching it, I really want to be a part of it because I know it's quality, but how did you end up there and what's it all about?
Once again, it's the people. Apex, another name. It's a brand imported from Asia. So the owners are actually three British guys. Two of them live in Asia, and Russ, which had been at some of the summits with the leather repair summits that we organized. So I met Russ last year. Russ was bringing these new products to the US. They had an issue with the branding because they had another name, but then when they came to the US, the name was registered for some other stuff. It's not even detailing related. So they had to go through rebranding. They come up with Apex and add the other part of being the marketing genius that he is. He decided, okay, let's go full blast, total rebranding, new websites, new everything, new approach.
Which is crazy expensive.
Which is crazy, but he's got the Detailers Movement. He owns Detailers Movement, so he kind of has all the expertise. He's got the CRMs.
Yeah.
He's got all the funnels that you can imagine marketing wise. He's got website developers. Whatever you think, he's got 20, 30, 40 guys working for him. So he's building this platform for us distributors, which is, I think it's wicked. Like, I never heard of a company coming in and
Not
they
like
build a
that.
website. No, they say, okay, I'm going to get your website. I'm going to get your CRM. I'm going to get the leads. We're pulling every single detail shop in Canada for you guys to cold call. Like, it's very unique. So back then, a year ago, with Russ at the summit, he was at our summit in Canada, which, by the way, was the first time ever we had a detailing summit in Canada, or any kind of detailing event in Canada. So all these brands came in, and Rupes, we got the Lake Country, we got Apex, we got a bunch of brands coming in, the guys with Road FS, and we playing with the film. We love the film. Everybody touching the film with experience or no experience, everybody loves the film. Really good. Like, Russ is doing these demos with almost no water. He's smashing the film and putting the film back in the car, and the film still pops up and revives. Oh, this is really cool. So I pitched the idea, but then we had an issue. OP was launching their own film, and I couldn't rep this branded film, right? Because I had to rep OP. Meanwhile, it was not financially doable to bring OP film to Canada for a bunch of many reasons, including shipping and cost margins and
Yeah.
whatnot. So with OP deciding not to bring the film to Canada, I kind of, okay, so can I do my thing? And yeah, for sure, do whatever you want. So I start conversation. Meanwhile, Joel jumped in, and he became the a global director for Apex. So CMO, we start talking. MT, we close the deal. We've been in the back, kind of organizing things, and we have 3 partners. So we'll be Don, we'll be Serviu in Ontario, the guys in Quebec, and ourselves for Western Canada.
So this isn't just a small company then. If they have global directors and they're doing like this is going to be a monster in the industry is what you're telling me.
Yes, it's big. They just signed up to buy so Ed, I think he's got 50 something franchises back in Malaysia and Vietnam and whatnot. They only do full wraps at their shops.
Oh,
They don't even do partials like we do here. It's
one
just
day.
full wraps.
One day.
And everybody wraps the cars, right? It's not just high-end stuff. They do mom and pop minivans, full wraps, because labor is cheaper there, right?
So the question I'm always going to have because this is just a PPF question in general. So are they doing tint too? Like are they doing tint and PPF or is it just PPF?
No, PPF tint with a carbon and ceramic tint. We're going to bring color PPF with a dry installation. That's coming not on the first order, but the second order. And a really, really good for us here in Canada. And that's something you can apply even yourself. Windshield PPF,
Yeah, I'm
optical grade.
interested with that.
That's non-shrink, which most of them you have to shrink them. And that's where the time consuming is. It's dreadful. We tried a few of the shrinkable ones.
Oh, it's scary.
It's not fun. It's
No,
definitely not fun.
you watch these videos and like, and I watched it at it was a I don't remember the brand it was, but anyway, it was online. There was either a live stream or like one of the events they had, and so I reached out to them and they sent me a sample and we tried it. I don't think I've ever sworn more times detailing, other than like my first ceramic install like company like the I was with. I did a lot of swearing with them too, but in terms of this, and I literally put in a ball and just threw it in the corner. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
the only reason why I started thinking about PPF again was when Darko came to Canada and he just was installing it and did really well here. And when we teamed up with him for a bit while he was in Canada, and and I'm just like I remember, and Taylor looked at me. My employees are very. I tell them, You're allowed to be opinionated. Tell me always what you think. I'm never gonna be upset for you giving me your opinion. It might not be the right one for us, but I'm always. She looks at me. She goes, "Hey," I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Why the hell aren't we doing this?" And this was her like this year, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're
Hmm.
right. All right, so get on it. Like I'm ready to go. I want to go. I want to learn." I'm like,
No, 100%.
so
And,
that's my next question because you're all about training. How does the training look? Like, how much is it? Do we know yet? Before I kind of threw in the spot, like, what's the
uh,
program kind of like?
with the Apex, I think we're going to go for a 3-day course
Hmm.
because Apex, because of what I said about all the marketing and whatnot, I think the Apex is going to be a little more complex. So we're going to work more on the business and marketing stuff, not just the application
Just
course. Our
smart.
courses right now is a 2-day course where we teach you to bulk and install precuts, and we even supply precuts for some smaller installers because it's a big investment, and that's what people fear on PPF. Paint is quick and easy. You can bulk most of the stuff, no big deal. With the PPF, the learning curve is longer and the investment is longer. You can buy a roll of tint for $100. A roll of PPF costs 1,000, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're going bulk, you're not buying a plotter. If you're going bulk, it's a big investment either way.
Yes, it
Most
is, and it's
people
a lot
start
of
with the
risk
tint.
too.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I will always say start with tint because that's a low entry point. And also, tint being a cheaper product, it brings a lot of new customers to the shop. It's really easy to advertise tint for
Well, because
$150.
everybody knows what tint is. Like the first,
Correct.
like even me, like when I knew nothing about cars, I bought my car. I'm like, oh, I want my windows tinted. Did I know what the difference between ceramic and no? I just want my windows black. I'm like, I just want to. That's what people know. So it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a good idea. My next question that I'm always stuck on. So my shop's like yours, big box. Like we don't have separate rooms. There's no. How are you controlling like contamination? 'Cause that's my main thing. So like if I have a truck I'm detailing in one corner and I'm doing film or tint in the other corner, I mean it's probably like 50 feet wide. So I mean like there's a decent amount of room. Are you worried about? I know there's always contamination. I don't want. I'm not looking for like.
Always. Yeah.
I'm not looking for surgically clean installs. What are you doing to eliminate that? 'Cause that's kind of where we're stuck. Like just me. Like if I was asking you and you're like, oh, I want to show you this stuff. This is where I'm stuck at. It's not the money. I don't care about the money. I'll throw you money all day long. It's more so I know because we're great at ceramic, obviously. We do a lot of it. So it makes sense for me to offer either PPF or tint because they're already coming here anyway. I'm sending them to another
Mm-hmm.
tint shop down the road. Like I literally am. And they're sending me money as referrals to other shops. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, how are you controlling contamination in the air or because that was my main thing. I'm like, when I get my next shop, I'll offer it, which is stupid. It doesn't make sense because I'm like, I want
No,
a separate area to do it in, but I think I'm overthinking it.
you are. So you run a clean shop. I've seen it online, not presential. That's coming soon. But you run a clean shop. That's all you need. You don't need to overthink it. Like we actually, for the first time ever, we're getting so busy with PPF that we gave my son David his own station. So we actually have a divider, which actually is a glass wall where he puts all these pre-cuts
Mm-hmm.
and weeds all the pre-cuts. And we add 2 filters to the area, so air filters. They're running all the time in the shop, and the
Like
shop's
just in the
pretty clean.
ceiling, like just
No,
put them.
actually, on ground level,
Oh, you're
they
selling me
just
fast, dude. I could literally just
yeah,
plug them right in.
yeah. So air filtration, nothing fancy. It's not an industrial air filtration, right? So it's just a basic filtration system. We found out the biggest part of the contamination actually comes from the water because you gotta, and that's what we teach you on the course. So a good sprayer with a really good filter that you
Mm,
can spray on. Okay, you can even spray the environment around you every time you go. We got a couple of fans throughout the shop, and then the race deck that keeps the contamination under us, so we're not dragging our feet on dirt and lifting anything up, right? So
mm-hmm.
We have no issues basically with contamination. Actually, we had to redo a piece yesterday, but we found out it was the soap that got clogged up inside the sprayer. We have a high pressure sprayer, and it was the soap and not the environmental. Sometimes it happens. Hair,
Yeah,
like it happens. Like, you got to just peel it off and do it again, or if you can pull it out, fine. It happens. Part of the business. We we open, like you said, like it's an open space. It's the first time we got some kind of divider. Is now. We just set it up last week, but up till now, it's been really cool. And,
and then
no
so
big deal.
did you just have a table in your shop that you're just weeding out all the pre-cuts, or like how did you do it? Like before you had the
Uh,
divider.
we had a rolling divider for a while.
Okay.
It's been kind of on the side against the wall. We actually built it with 2x4s, some wheels, and then we bought this industrial grade glass from our neighbors, and it's like almost like an A-frame shape,
Yeah.
and it's not fully vertical. It's got an angle. We like that angle because it makes it easy to weed off everything off, and adding some lights in the back so you can see it. But you can just use some glass on the wall. Initially, use two tables, two picnic tables. Nothing fancy. That's all you need. So,
Problem with
uh,
you is every time I talk to you, my first is owner's pride. I'm like, you just make me feel so stupid. You're like, you literally could be, like, you just do it. And I don't mean like stupid intellectually. I mean like, why the
I don't
hell
know.
aren't we doing this now? Like, I could be doing it right now. We could be making more money. Actually, make my team more money, which is I'm even more
Mm-hmm.
impressed about. Okay, so that's rolling all out. I'm going to talk to you about that later. And we're going to make sure we get your contact information for all the stuff you rep. I'm going to put it all in the notes. Because if you're in Canada and you're not talking to Paulo or any of these different teams that he's a part of, what are you doing? Like, honestly, what are you, like, you literally hear me and he's like, it's easy. And he means it. Like, he's not just selling you
It's
stuff. Like, it bothers me because every time he says, "Oh, it's easy," I'm like, remember the glass company. So I ended up with OP. I had an issue with another company. He's like, "Oh, it's easy. Just throw it on." I'm like, "Yeah, okay, dude. Send it to me." I'm like, "Here's my money. Here's my card. Send it." He sent it. I remember I put it on Nick's, like, and he just started swearing. He's like, "Why aren't we using this stuff now?" I'm like,
yeah.
"I don't know, Nick. Like, I don't know why." So then it just keeps going. So I know. Well, now we know our tint and PPF company we're going to go with, and Urjan's going to be happy because he's sick right now and can't talk. But he's going to be watching this and editing this, and he's going to be like, "Oh, so why are we going?" So we'll probably be seeing you or Don, and yeah, we'll be getting that done. So you're doing that. That's like what's going on now. Then you have leather repair company. So what's that all about?
Well, the leather repair, like I said, was kind of a passion. So I did some of these smart repairs they called in England. I was trained to do some. I actually did a lot at dealerships because we had the accounts. So it's all about being at the dealership and adding all these services, right? We're at the dealership, so we're doing interior detail. We start polishing cars for them. We start running the car wash for them. And then there's all back in the day, there's the mobile phones. They had, you remember the box? You're too young for this. The box, and then you got the holder
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
thing.
I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah.
it. Yeah,
So every time people switch vehicles, they have to drill out the system and move it to the next car. So all these cars were coming to the dealership, to the recon center that we ran, with at least 4 to 6 holes in the dashboard, right?
right.
So these guys, okay, we got to fix this. No one's buying the cars because they're full of holes. So I fly to England, take a couple of smart repair courses, fabric repair, leather repair, vinyl, and something else, windshield repair. So I come back and start doing this, but it took me so long. I tried to train other guys, and they would pick up. It was basically the color mixing that was wrecking everything because the repairs were super easy. You just fill it in, level it, sand it. But then a lot of the guys couldn't do the color mixing properly because the system wasn't very good. It was like
Yeah.
3 types of gray, 3 types of black, and off you go. So I sold it to another individual, and he took off on doing just smart repairs. And I kind of forgot about it. And when I started with the shop, and we had a lot of issues with steering wheels. So I started buying kits online. I bought some collar lock kits. I bought some, I think it was Geist. And then I bought the leather repair company from the UK. I tried the kit and holy crap, this is like super easy. And it's so easy, anyone can do it. So I ordered a couple more products, start talking to Richard, and Richard kind of said, you know what? You're so passionate about this leather. Why don't you start offering the products in England, in Canada? I'll fly over. I'll teach you how to do this. So Richard did it. We signed up. We got an initial order coming. He came over for a week. He certified us to be the trainers and distributors, and it's been nothing but growth since then. People that were joining, they're loving it. Then they had issues with the US distributor, and about the same time we opened OP Auto Spa in Orlando. So I talked to Blake and Will, and they kind of, well,
Why
seems to be a
not?
pretty good system. Why not? So we took over the US as well, and man, we've met so many amazing people with this leather stuff and all the summits, and it's been nothing but fantastic. It's really, really good.
So this is something we got to talk about too, because like my shop, we outsource leather repair, and we
Hmm.
outsource fabric repair. How hard would it be for me to train my employees to do it? Because like this is where I'm starting to realize this is what I kind of developed in my shops, where I have a list. So they get paid hourly. I have a list where it's like if you're in the car, check for these things. If you notice that,
Hmm.
let's say the steering wheel needs to be replaced or whatever, fixed up, right?
Hmm.
They could have that on their list where it's like, okay, this is, and then I say, bring this to my attention, and then if we do it, you get paid this amount of commission for it because I'm not selling it. So
Hmm.
how hard would it be for me to train an employee to do leather repair? It's like
That's
to me,
probably the easiest course you're gonna get. Like
oh, this is my
this.
problem, guys.
No,
This guy
but
all the
Richard,
time.
no, Richard created. It's not this one. None of this is me. I didn't create anything.
I know. It's
That's
just the
just
way you talk. It
I
bothers
found
me.
the system. I found the system, and like I said, I tried other systems until I found this one. I
They
had
don't work.
never
Like I've
thought I'm gonna
tried
be
them. I've
distributor.
tried some of these other
Never.
ones. I'm like, this is so hard, and I'm scared. Like, what if I do the wrong dye and it changes the color? You know how much time I thought about, and then it's also now and I watch the leather repair guys work. I'm like, I could do this. Like, this isn't even that hard.
Hmm. Hmm. So
Uh,
the reason I stopped doing it years ago was the color mixing, like I told you. With the Richard system and the LRC, we have a scanner that gives you basically the recipe for the color, right? So even if you're not very color savvy, you
yeah,
get
pretty
a
much anybody
ballpark.
can do it.
Yeah, you get a ballpark, and then you still have to adjust it. It doesn't
Yeah,
give you the color. It's like
right.
automotive paint, right? If you're
But it
doing
gets you
mixing
there.
paint, it gets you there close enough. Or instead of painting just to repair, paint the whole bolster or the whole seat. Sometimes I do the piece and blend it in. It's just like painting cars. It's
Okay.
three
What kind
three
of
steps.
what kind of investment would you need to start doing leather repair with that system to get
So
started?
the course is $1,200
Okay.
for a 2 day course, and that gets you going right away. And then you got a full kit with everything from towels to scrubbing pads to paint to tools, scanners for $2,500.
Okay.
You get
So
basically
that that'd be like $3,700, and you're all set and ready to go.
business in a box, literally. We
Oh,
teach you how to
this is
price things. That's how Richard he sells it as a franchise in the UK. We're not
smart.
there. We're not there in the US yet because different legislation and different stuff, illegal
Well, it's
stuff around it.
brilliant because like even like my leather repair guy I have now is he just goes all over the place. He's just traveling around. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, oh, I just go to all these different dealerships and just do it and blah blah blah
Hmm.
blah, and it's all set and ready to go. And I'm like, why aren't we offer? It's the same thing. Like where my employees look at me and I just tell them like we could offer everything. It's just we got to find out what's. I want to find out what's profitable. And the problem with knowing you is you get everything. And it's all profitable, and then it's like, then I got to deal with you more. It's not like
But
I'm
Andrew,
calling.
like we use it on the shop. It's not like we pushing stuff. Like
Right.
that's our life
It
in
sells
the shop.
itself.
It's like people, like you said, you got your SOPs, you got your system going. You open the door. Oh, you got a white interior. We need to we need to protect this. Let's apply a coating to it. Oh, your steering wheel is gone. Why do $150? We can repaint your steering wheel, right?
That's it.
And then
Oh, that's
you
cheap.
need
So that's
tint.
an easy
Well,
upsell.
it's an easy upsell. $150. You can do a steering wheel in 15 minutes, half an hour. A little cut in the seat, like you're going to
Oh
this
my god.
dealership world.
Yes. You're
You're
getting me
moving to
so
this.
upset because I'm like, why aren't we doing this?
You're
Oh,
moving
you're
into
right.
the dealership world. Then you can do just more than the coatings. You can do the reconditioning. Like that's what the guys are doing here, OP Orlando. They start with PPF, just wear and tear packages in the shop for a BMW dealership. Then they added coatings, they added polishing, now they added tint. So they're just hiring probably 4 or 5 people because they grew inside that dealership to a point. The dealership is bringing all these, they're doing leather repair. They had a RDX the other day with a cut this big on the back, and they couldn't sell it. Too expensive to replace. They wouldn't make money on the car. So we patch it up. It's not perfect by all means, but you look at the before and after, it's
Oh
either
yeah.
cut this big on the seat or barely a little scar on the seat,
Yeah.
right? Those little things, the more you add, and you know that, like it's also contacts you put on the CRM that you do this better than anyone. You just keep on touching these clients,
Right.
so they might come in for tint, and then the next car they come for a leather repair, or they come for a ceramic coating, or I
Well,
think.
it makes you the, and this is what I like about you because you're very smart at all these different industries you distribute for. It makes you that when they think about anything car related, they just call you. So like, oh, if he doesn't
Hmm.
do it, he knows a guy or girl
Hmm.
that will do it. It's the same type of thing. You're very good at diversifying what you offer. So it's like me, I'm strictly ceramic right now. Then you're like, oh, I distribute for the leather repair company. I'm like, well, I don't want to do leather repair. And then we get on here and it's like, well, why aren't you? It's $110 you're charging a customer to do a steering wheel. And how many damaged steering wheels do we see in a month? At least 10. At least.
Yeah,
Not even.
yeah.
So I'm going to think, I'm like, well, we'd make $1,000 in 15 minutes each car in terms of like total. So it'd take me 15 minutes or my employees 15 minutes. We charge 150 or 135. I give them $40 for finding it. Then we're making X amount of dollars. I'm like, well, why aren't we doing it, Paulo?
Hmm. The dealership, you get into that
Yeah,
dealership, and now you start offering those repairs. Once again, that dealership is going to go to you for all the reconditioning needs, right?
right.
Like you got to the point with this shop, the BMW shop, we're actually setting up people at the dealership now because they
Which
want
makes
all the
sense.
used cars polished. And once again, we're not going to do a 3-step paint correction on all the used car lots,
Yeah,
but they're going to get a quick 1-step polish. And you know how much that takes, probably an hour to an hour and a half. We can
yeah.
bring that car to life and actually have a wicked result that shines in the parking lot, put a sealant on it, and off we go to the races.
Yeah, that's
Right?
excellent. Okay,
Yeah.
so we talked about PPF and tint, and then we talked about leather repair company. Then let's talk about kind of your shop because we're near the end. So you got your shop going. How many employees do you have? Like, so you said it's 4,000 square feet. What kind of services are you offering? And I guess what's your volume like? Like, are you doing a lot of dealership work? Is it mostly retail? What's it like? And
It
then how is it
it
like working with a partner? Because I think I'd struggle with that. It's like, how do you guys work together?
well, and we talk about this all the time. We just had this conversation once again. We're totally different.
Yeah, you are.
Totally different. We are completely different. Gary loves the shop life. He likes his small world with no mess around it. Well, shop mess, but that's
Yeah.
you got to deal with the clients.
And you're like
But
the
he,
superstar in the spotlight all the time.
and it works. Like
Yeah.
I'm not there at the shop all the time, but we feed that shop even in the winter time. And a lot of people told we couldn't do it. We we're not mega profitable. There's probably more profitable shops, but we're growing towards something. Uh, Once again, we'd like to have it more as a not a full production shop. Everybody wants the $1 million shop. I don't care about that number per se. I ideally want to have that shop with 3 to 4 employees, feed them work, everybody's happy, create a really great environment, and eventually an exit plan with me and Gary retiring out of that shop in a few years.
You're not going to
But
retire. You're on vacation talking
no,
to me.
I won't retire.
You'll
I'm
do
the kind
another
of guy.
tour.
I'd probably be Joel. Sorry, Joel, about this, but Joel retired from IGL and he goes play golf. And as soon as the snow hits the ground, he's like, "I'm bored. I'm gonna be global director for a company."
I think
So
that's all. And Ivan's another example. I think
exactly,
it's
Ivan is yeah.
yeah, I think it's one of those things where you get bored. Like they're so used to so many things going on where he's like, I'm retired. And I remember he told me that when I was doing training with him. And then he goes, yeah, I'm opening a chemical
Yeah,
company. I'm like, that doesn't sound retired. He's like, no, but I was bored. I'm like, okay. But it's kind of the way
and
that
it
it
is,
goes.
but if you love what you're doing, what they say is if you love what you're doing, you never work a day in your life, right?
Right.
I'm blessed to love this. I love the detailing industry. I love it. I love the ski industry, so I can see myself focusing on detailing most of the year instead of going golf like Joel. I'm going to go ski.
Yeah.
So that's how I see my retirement plan will be working on anything detailing and then eventually go ski in the wintertime and teach my lessons in the wintertime and just kind of live that lifestyle business that everybody talks about.
Yeah. But you're very smart at, and I guess what I'm trying to say is you're very smart at diversifying the stuff that you offer because very smart in terms of when you're in Canada. Canada's such a small market. You have ceramic. You literally have every single service I need as a business owner for the most part that you can offer me or offer me training to do. So you're not just you're not just saying, okay, you're an owner's pride installer. Now I'm listening and I'm like, okay, I can now do leather repair in my shop. I can now do tint. I can now do PPF all through talking the same guy. I might have to use a different distributor for Ontario, if that makes sense. But technically,
Mhm.
still, I can talk to the same guy who's going to bring me everything I need for my shop to be profitable and multiple avenues of being profitable.
What I if it works for our shop, it's going to work for other shops, like your system too, like your
Right.
marketing. You're on point with all that, so you can create that SOP and kind of translate to other shops and other people.
Right.
If they follow the plan, they're going to succeed,
Will make
right?
money.
The
Yeah.
same, I think. Like we have a
Yes.
running shop. I'm not just selling products because I am. We utilize every single product in the shop. We make our profit based on the systems we use. So I think if you have the marketing and sales part, you got the product part, and everything lines up, you're going to be profitable. Like if you follow your instructions on that side, our instructions with the chemical stuff and product
Yeah.
wise, and
Yeah.
train, you're going to be profitable. No matter if it's a small operation or big operation, that to me doesn't matter. I was probably making more profit as a one man show in my garage than with a bigger shop
Yeah.
because the overhead was. But you're not creating anything. You're not creating. When I said I'm a family man, and basically what I think about my family is leaving a legacy that my family can. Okay, I still remember that guy. He was look, or he created something else. Like he had a shop. The kids will probably run the shop. David loves the PPF. He loves the business part of the shop. So eventually, once myself and Gary step out of the business, most Might be
He's
David, might be
set.
Rafaela. She loves the shop too. Like she's a hairdresser, but she loves the shop. Every moment she's got, and we got work for her, she jumps in and she works with social media. She loves interiors. She can tint, she can polish. They grew up on that environment, so
Right. Thank God for the detailers that love interiors. Like, thank you. 'Cause I don't. I have both my Taylor loves them in my shop, and then Darren now too, my newest employee. And he we got this trash. It was a Volkswagen Beetle, and she has two Huskies that she stuffs in this car, and it's just destroyed the inside of this car. And it was Darren's like second week or third week. So Taylor's all riled up. She's like, I don't want to work on it. Like, I don't even want to deal with it. Whatever. Says Darren looks, goes, I can't wait to see how better this looks when I'm done. See, this is the attitude that we need. Taylor starts laughing, rolling her eyes,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And then it's done. She's like, oh, they're still kind of dirty, whatever. And it's heavily neglected, this car. I'm like, well, it is what it is. Like, clean it up. He goes, it looks so much better. Look at the before and the after. And I'm like, oh, this is this is so refreshing.
That's why I love in this industry. It's not like you got the interior guys, you got the tint guys, you got PPF guys. I think it's all one. Like we represent this industry, and if you have passion for it, do whatever. I don't care if you're one man show, if you're 5 man show, if you like interiors, if you like exteriors. We're all different, and
Right.
like someone said, there's more cars than detailers. So don't try to fight for just the one client everybody's trying to fight for.
Right.
There's plenty of cars out there, plenty of vehicles.
Well, especially if you're doing good work and you're trying your best and you're passionate, it comes through. People, that's what people buy. Is they like, like when they talk to me, they're like, oh, this younger guy knows all these things and whatever, and he has a team. And like on our website, you go on it, it's not picture. I mean, there is a picture of me, but there's pictures of them. There's Nick, there's Taylor on there. There's some they kind of get used to. They'll walk in, hey guys, how's it going? Or they'll see me in the videos, or they get really excited to come in. So
Yeah,
it's like I'll always take money from people that are excited to give it to me. Like it's
100%.
true.
But the
It's
thing,
easy.
you took the time to build this. I
Yeah.
remember you from 4 or 5 years ago, and the way you grew, even to this podcast,
Yeah.
right? This podcast is part of something you're building.
Right.
Like you creating the network, you putting yourself out there, you bring people in. And podcast is like training. Every time we're training, we're learning something from someone, right? I
Right.
end up, I had one polishing course actually with our friend Hussein that we stopped the polishing course because we started talking about the interior and he's very passionate about the interiors. We actually stopped the polishing course. So Hussein was doing a demo how we really quick does interior details, which was awesome. Like I
Yeah.
loved it. I learned a lot. The guys learned a lot. Just leave the ego behind and just do
Well, yeah, there's no
whatever it's good
reason
for.
for it. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. Like, just have fun. This is super fun. We are around cars, we're around people and car people. So can't go wrong with car people.
Oh, for sure. All right. So we're about to wrap it up. Is there anything you want to kind of go over before I wrap it up, or anything you want to say?
No, reach out. Once again, like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We're quite active.
Yeah.
OP Canada, LRC Canada, and APEX Canada.
So I will
LRC.
put all that, or I'll tell Urjan, if you're listening to this, and you are, put it all in the descriptions and everything.
We
Then
miss you,
we'll get,
buddy. Get well
yeah,
soon.
yeah. He just had Ramadan, so he's been fasting for a while, and he's been a little delirious. And then the first time he's having food again, he's sick. So
Over.
don't give him too much credit. He probably just started to relax and he's sleeping at home. Don't
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
He's got his employees, so now his employees working at the shop. He's at
Oh my
home.
God. It's
Yeah,
living
don't
the
listen to
dream.
him. Yeah, don't listen to him. So we'll end this episode kind of right here. Website suds2successpodcast.com. All the information's on there. We got discount links to You're Able, Go High Level, and we have a few different options there. You can kind of get different systems if you want, and helps the podcast out. We're also Suds2Success Podcast on all social medias: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you have any questions, obviously always reach out in the comments or send us messages on the website, and we'll get those answered for you. And we'll put all Paulo's information in the descriptions below, and on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, put in the descriptions there. We are going to do an episode with you and Gary, because I totally want to go over kind of both of you and how you mesh, because Gary's a totally different animal. And I remember when I called him the first time, and I'm like, he's just so nice to me. I'm like, no sarcasm. Like when I talk to you, it's just, we just banter for 5 minutes, usually before we get any type of business done. And with him, he's just straight to the point. I'm like, I have to order this. Okay, great. I'm sending it out right now. I'm like, okay. Like he's like so like on it. I'm like, I see where they get like he's so like numbers guy, like on it. And we're gonna do this and that. And then especially with the IDA stuff, kind of meet him more with that, which is interesting. So also, if you're not in the IDA, sign up for the IDA or reach out to Paulo, and he'll get you set up. Yeah. Have a great rest of your day. Happy detailing. Any questions, reach out to Paulo. Talk soon.
See ya.